Some humans radiate confidence and energy no matter how much money they have or how socially connected they are. Humans are attracted to them not so much because of their looks but because of the optimistic, friendly ways that they interact with humans. Here are the major reasons why a personality seems so attractive and maybe even slightly irresistible. 1. They have integrity, or are morally sound and trustworthy, give sincere, honest compliments and praise when deserved, and don't lie or deceive others. They are dependable and try to fulfill any promises that they make or fulfill responsibilities that they assume. 2. They are good listeners and ask relevant, smart follow-up questions that show a genuine interest in others and make others feel respected and important. They shy away from the small or trivial talk which can bore or annoy others. 3. They are good at reading others and treating them the way that they want to be treated. They realize that some are extroverted, love praise and attention, interaction, and public approval, and that others are rather private and introverted and like to keep their lives and accomplishments largely to themselves. 4. They tactfully ask or make note of the likes and dislikes of a human and what they are most proud of, and occasionally converse on those topics with the human, making stronger emotional connections. 5. They recognize the difference between fact and opinion and follow an opinion with a statement that it is a personal opinion and may not be a fact, which allows others to have opposing opinions without feeling that they are being harshly criticized or put down for stupidity. Sports, politics, religion, global warming, etc. are areas where intelligent humans can agree to disagree because most of the topics are opinions or differing beliefs and not scientifically proven facts. 6. They smile, look good but don't overdo it, and are passionately optimistic with a genuine interest in life and humans despite any transient personal problems they might have, which they don't go out of their way to advertise. The key to an attractive personality is not to try to manipulate other person's reactions. It is as simple as this. Have you ever been in a situation when you don't know what to say? What to say to achieve what exactly? A positive reaction, that is. Stop chasing reactions. Stop treating people as Pavlov's dogs. This is the thing that makes you frustrated, not rejections. You approach a person to manipulate them into reacting a certain way. It makes you nervous. It makes you desperate. And if you fail, it makes you miserable. Just stop doing it. Instead, show people who you are and express yourself, your personality, and allow them to decide by themselves if they like you or not. Don't try to manipulate their decision or decide for them. It doesn't work well. I know why you try to manipulate. Because otherwise, you think that they'll consider that real you isn't good enough for them. You try to compensate by using pickup and seduction, or maybe by trying to be a good friend and a nice guy. But why? If someone is really considering you as below them, then you should be offended by it, not trying to please them. Where is your self-respect? Moreover, in most cases, you just decide for others that you are below them. So, instead of showing true yourself to them, you try to show them what you think they will like. You searching this sub to learn what other people want you to do to please them, so they could give you their approval. You trying to find something that will help you to get up on their level, even if you were the one who put yourself below them in the first place. If someone considers that I'm not good enough for them, then they can go find someone else. I only want to be with people who are able to recognize my value. I'm not gonna try and convince anyone that I'm good enough or show them a false image of myself that I think would help me win them over. Why? Because I have self-respect. That is why. If you aren't valuing yourself, then who will? It would be easiest to understand if you have some close friends or relatives with whom you could just say things without putting much thought behind them. Just saying what pops up in your head, not expecting any particular answer. Each person has their own desires and thoughts. But when we try to manipulate reactions and turn on our social fake persona, we start to hold ourselves back all the time. It could take you some time to start to express yourself freely. Just do it step by step. The main difference isn't what exactly you do, but why. For example, you can tell a girl that she is cute because you think that she'll like you more for that. Or you can tell it just because you think this and decided to share your opinion. In the first case, you'll wait for her to react and her answer will determine how you feel. In the second case, you'll feel comfortable even if she didn't appreciate it. Instead of thinking that there is something wrong with you, you'll assume that a girl is in a bad mood or just too wary of strangers. And it would be the case in most cases. When you start doing things like this, step by step, sooner or later you'll start to completely let go and allow yourself to express your inner thoughts, opinions, and desires freely. To speed up this process, start to talk to new people. You can even start doing it online if it is hard for you to do it in real life from the get-go. Eventually, you'll gain real confidence in yourself and it shouldn't take too long. It sounds to me like you may be aiming to accomplish any or all of the following. 1. Being successful, or more successful. at getting many dates might then lead to a relationship or marriage. 2. Be popular or more popular in your school or workplace because you want to be an accepted member of the popular crowd, or you want to be a premium member of the popular crowd. 3. If you are a salesperson, sell more of your items by virtue of your charming or attractive personality. I recommend that you approach this very carefully, or you may find yourself sliding into the territory of manipulating another person. I do not find a personality that is contrived, constructed, configured, made, manufactured, molded, shaped, or artificially altered for an intended purpose to be attractive. Rather than strive to have an attractive personality, I recommend that you approach life with an entirely different question. So, I am going to recommend that you ask the following question instead. How can I become naturally happy? Not pretend happily, or outwardly charming, but truly happy deep down in your heart and soul. If you can become naturally happy, you can just stop worrying about needing to have an attractive personality. That problem is just going to go away. And thank goodness for that. That's a relief. Here is my philosophy. If you can become naturally happy on your own, you will not have to worry about dates with good people. They will eventually find you, or you will find them. And you can't force that kind of natural happiness. You must have patience. So now we come face to face with some of the most important questions of human existence and human experience. The core questions. What is happiness? What is feeling good? What is inner peace? Are these all different or the same? How are they related or connected? And especially, what causes or creates these? Conversely, what is sadness? What is pain? What is suffering? And especially, what causes or creates these? When you look very closely at what makes people feel good in general, you will see that there are many levels or kinds of pleasure, many kinds or levels of happiness, and many kinds or levels of pain and suffering. The happiness principle, the highest and most important kind of happiness, comes, slowly but surely, to those who act to promote the well-being of others, as much or more than they act to create luxuries and pleasures in their own life. The happiness corollary. You can directly create pleasure in your life, but you cannot directly create the highest and most important kind of happiness. You can only gradually discover and gradually unfold that kind of happiness over time by following the happiness principle stated above. The well-being corollary. When you act to promote the long-term well-being of someone, it may or may not feel good to that someone. Just ask any parent, teacher, coach, mentor, dentist, doctor, or caregiver. The keep your word corollary. If you say you are going to do something that is virtuous, especially if it is a solemn vow, and you keep your word, you will gradually increase the happiness in your life. If it infrequently happens that you must break your word for a truly good or virtuous cause, there is no substantial impact on your happiness. But if you break your word merely for reasons of your own personal pleasure, personal gain, personal status, or personal convenience, you will reduce the happiness in your life. If you put the happiness principle into practice in your daily life, you will eventually be happy at the highest and most important level. But it may not happen right away. It may take many years, and you will need to have patience. There is much more to say about the core questions, but if you start with the happiness principle, you cannot go wrong. May you apply the happiness principle every day of your entire life.